well taken.
Point margin as we go into the all-important third quarter here at Victoria Park in the crucial game against North Melbourne. It'll be Lyle and Rendell. Won by Lyle. Thump further forward, down towards the half-forward line for North Melbourne. Bad mistake by Laurie. He butters up, but it's intercepted beautifully. So too was the handball by Larkin. He has support from Arsiri. Cracker, this is Jimmy in the pocket. Can he get clear to Phil? He can.
Now, is Phil on the forward line, or has he just followed McIver down, or what, Sandy?
Well, we might have to wait and see. Here's the pass, and it's a beauty too to Peter German.
Dwyer on McIver, so I think Phil must be down on the forward area, and the fact that they only kicked 5 goals in the first half, I can well understand that. He may have kicked a couple.
German looking to get the Northerners away to a handy start in the third quarter, and he's done just that. Peter German kicks his first, and North Melbourne start to close the gap. 6-9 plays 9-7 on 7's big league.
An excellent start for North Melbourne. Exactly what John Kennedy would have wanted, to get one on the board immediately. Give them a little bit of confidence. And although, well, when you look at the windsock now, Sandy, it seems to have gone straight across the ground.
Here we are back in the centre again. Just over 1 minute played. Third term. Rendell and Lyle to contest the centre bounce. Rendell. Harris has been a pretty quiet player, Leon, so far today. Atkins does it nicely for North. Out wide. Norman thought about going on with it, but will swing back now and go onto the right foot. A flat drop punt towards Jonas, who tried to tap it over the back towards Larkin. Dean Turner is there for Fitzroy, loses it. Scooped out by Matthew Larkin. Arsiri over the top, a high kick. Fisted clear by Laurie, but it bounces off a knee. Back to Laurie again. He gets a second kick this time and goes out of bounds on the full. So it'll be Phil Cracker to bring the ball back into play. The players calling for it everywhere.
Loose
Lexter
play.
goes short. This is Dwyer tumbling a punt to full forward, but the only man there with play was Matt Rendell.
Well, Gary Pert must be fairly seriously injured, Sandy. We saw him on the ground, laying on the ground off the actual oval. And Rendell doesn't know which way to go. Eventually comes across and finds Grant Laurie, who puts the ball down looking for Richard Osborne. Barwick up high. The loose ball comes through. Doesn't quite make Osborne. Barwick tapped the ball through. Allows Osborne to kick it off the ground. Harris gets it back. Barwick. Long hand pass finds Osborne. He gives it back to Bernie Harris again, who'll go forward looking for Osborne. Osborne taps it forward. Goes on again, close to the boundary line. Hooks it down. Quinlan's there. It's well tapped on, though, by McCann, and rushed through for 1 point to Fitzroy. Good play there. Good defensive work by McCann. And Stephen McCann will bring the ball back into play for North Melbourne. It's kicked off well so far. At the back of the pack, Norman taps the ball forward, looking for German. Pekin comes in for Fitzroy. He's tackled, loses it. Tapped back by Rendell, picked up by Keane. Keane goes forward. McCann in the front position and takes a fine mark. He's doing well, Stephen McCann. Atkins puts the ball out wide. So wide, in fact, it's over the boundary line. And so we now find there's Richard Osborne on camera as he waits for the throw-in to take place on the half-forward line for Fitzroy.
Lyle and Rendell. It's the latter with a roundhouse right to Doug Barwick. Will be free kick. And don't tell me he's in strife too with an ankle.
Certainly not 100% fit.
You get a sniff at those goals. He kicked a wonderful goal earlier on in the game. He's contributed 3 so far. Oh no, he's not right. He puts it out wide. Keane comes to meet it. Solidly met. A little too solid, says the umpire.
The tackle was too high. It was actually a bump. And Keane, certainly a free kick, as Barwick not on camera.
The magic spray.
I wish that had been my taste.
And it's incidentally his left knee, not the ankle. Gary Keane, a left footer. Stabs at it. Pulls it for 1 point.
My day was that long ago, you know, the aerosol.
You said it. 9-9, plays 6-9, 18-point margin. McCann back into play for the Northerners. Short or danger, but clear as Dwyer. Now Law can run on here. Could have had a bounce, but elects to kick towards Jonas. Tried to tap it wide to Steele. Clever play. Cracker at half forward. Phillip.
Loken's leg very heavily strapped, Sandy. I did see him grab his thigh in that second turn. Well, the Fitzroy have got a few clocks out there at the moment.
They're going down like 9 pins, aren't they?
Gary Pert off the ground.
Norman, incidentally, has just left the ground, but that's purely an interchange. Coming on is Rowan Robertson. And this is Phillip Cracker. Hasn't goal today, spending the first half in defence, but has started off this time okay. Straight through the middle, and the Northerners are coming back. 7-9 plays 9-9 on 7's big lead.
Good play by Steele. Might have been a miss kick, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, found Phil Cracker, and the dangerous Phil Cracker finishing it off.
The margin at half-time was 22 points, Robert. It is now back to 12 points, and we've played only 6 minutes in this third term. This is the vital quarter of football. Here's the centre bounce. 63 plays 51. North fighting back. Can Fitzroy steady? Rendell too slow to get rid of the football. Play on is the call. It's pushed out wide. Here go the Northerners again through Peter German out to Darren Steele. Steele sets sail for home with a long kick. McDonald's at the back. Went up with the one hand. Leon Harris defending stoutly, but he's picked out the free kick, and it's going to go to McDonald. And North now a chance to come within 6 points of Fitzroy. Donald McDonald, 1 goal to his credit. He's been off target, actually. 1 goal, 3. This is kick number 6. Let's see if he can make the margin 6 points. He fires with a drop punt, and he has made the margin just 6 points here at Victoria Park.
Cracker magic, it says. We see the score, 63 to 57, but it wasn't Phil Cracker or Jim Cracker. It was Donald McDonald who had that little bit of magic that North Melbourne required. He put through his second goal, and 3 quick goals in this quarter. 7.5 minutes have gone. Mark Lyle waiting to put the ball forward for North Melbourne as he'll compete in the ruck against Matt Rendell. Behind him was Stephen Hickey. It was a great trier for North Melbourne, a real solid goer. Rendell cannot get the ball clear. Hickey in there applying pressure once again. And we'll find a big pack of players around this bounce. Lyle got the ball down, was looking for Arsiri. Larkins tried to get the hand pass to Arsiri. Thornton's there for Fitzroy. Can't get boot to ball. He's tackled just as Rendell gets clear, but umpire Cameron will bounce it very close to the point of the centre square, North Melbourne side of the centre. Rendell gets the tap. Keane comes in. Can't get it clear though, and once again there'll be a bounce in almost an identical position. And John Law gives the ball back as Mark Lyle and Matt Rendell. Lyle number 1, Rendell number 9. Lyle of North Melbourne gets the tap forward. German, his kick smothered off the boot. Lyle taps the ball out. Loken picks it up. Gets the short kick out wide. He's looking for Richard Osborne. Osborne picks it up beautifully. His kick goes forward. Ackerley and Bernie Harris. Ackerley there first. Bernie Harris gets it to favourable bounce. McCann comes in. Wins it well. Gets the hand pass forward. Over the boundary line it goes. And the throwing will take place. Half forward flank for Fitzroy. Keane of Fitzroy against Lyle of North Melbourne. Keane grabs it. Puts the ball up towards the forward pocket. Over the line it will go. No, it stays in play. Quinlan's there, but it's put over by McCann, and the throw-in to take place in the forward pocket for Fitzroy as Stephen McCann comes back. Bernie Quinlan's there. McCann and Quinlan, well, Quinlan will compete in the ruck. Lyle's there as well. McCann in the front position. The ball comes down towards Arsiri. Atkins picks it up for North Melbourne. Kick off the side of the boot, over the boundary line on the full, and Bill Logan will take the free kick for Fitzroy.
From the left half forward flank. There's that heavy strapping we mentioned on Bill Loken's right thigh. Goes across to Paul Roos over the top of him, Rendell, and they've lost it. Bursting through is Rowan Robertson across the centre. Cracker saying, go, go, go. He does to Donald McDonald, who takes the mark. What a change side. A chance for North Melbourne to level the scores. After being down 22 points at half-time, Donald McDonald is 35 metres out. On a bit of an angle, but it's certainly not severe. And with just on 10 minutes played in this third quarter, the Roos can tie it away. Just wants to poke it into those red, yellow and blue streamers and he'll be home. And that's exactly what he's done. 1 goal, North Melbourne scores a level. McDonald has kicked 3, and we've got a ball game here at Victoria Park.
A real goer, really applying pressure when Conlon in that first half was breaking away on numerous occasions.
From the centre bounce once again, North trying to go forward. Barwick can't put a stop to it. Here goes Hickey, looks for the hand pass, then decides to get his kick to Cracker. He can play on, Phillip. But no, he'll go back. Has a look, goes with that uncharacteristic left foot down towards the forward line. Steele in trouble. Play on is the call. McDonald tries to leap an opponent, in fact leap his own player, and lost the football as it drifted over the line.
Great snap by Peter German. It actually went through.
Well, I'm afraid they can't pay it though, as much as North would like to see it.
After the ball's not counted, is it?
Nope. So here's the throw-in, but North doing all the attacking in this third term.
David Parker would be very concerned with this start, Sandy.
My word, he would. Very concerned. Steele scoops it back into play. Was looking for Phil Cracker, who's forced to apply the tackle on Roos. Phil's still going. Loses it now, and it will be Roos who eventually wins out. Has been a pretty quiet player to send a wing. Lyle can't take it. At the back was Atkins. McIver. A handball over the back, goes over the line at centre wing in front of the Minnows.
An excellent start by North Melbourne in this term. 12.5 minutes approaching. North Melbourne have kicked 4 straight goals. Fitzroy 2 behinds. Larkin picks the ball up. It's a high floating kick, an awkward one to mark. It's punched away by Pekin. Larkin coming up again, but it goes over the boundary line and a throw-in to take place in between centre wing and half-forward flank for North Melbourne. From the throw-in, Jonas gets the tap. Siri out to Steele. Steele's kick, McDonald at the back. Laurie thumps it through for one rush point, but a free kick has been found, has it?
1 point. 1 point, and that, incidentally, Robert, gives North Melbourne the lead. It's been a long, long time since they've had that. Laurie back into play to the outer side. Pekin the target. Couldn't take it. Here's a chance for North Melbourne again through Hickey. To full forward. Suddenly becoming very dark here at Victoria Park. In fact, possibly darker for Fitzroy than it is North Melbourne at the moment, though. 4 goals in 12 minutes. And they're back in business. Rendell. Cracker. Tried to go underground with a hand pass. McDonald couldn't take it. And another bounce.
Just having Phil Cracker on the forward line makes them look more dangerous up there, Sandy.
Gee, they dangerous, yep. I hate to think what's going to happen when they actually start to sizzle. The two combining together, because they're great to watch. Fitzroy on the end of it at the moment. Cracker lost that one out, but he's got a teammate in Jonas. It's a high kick towards full forward. No mark is taken, and it bounces across the top towards the boundary line. Just kept in play by Osborne. Law crunched over the line, and a throw-in to take place. Well, the pressure really on now. North knowing they must win to try and close the gap on the 5. Law to the half-forward line. Cracker couldn't take it. That was Phillip. Siri over the top, and I think has given away the free kick. The ironical cheers of Fitzroy go up. A quick handball onto Osborne. It came from Clayton. Fairly. Pushed towards the line, but a clever handball to Lyle, even though it put him under pressure. They'll lose it, and Conlon comes away, receiving from Keane. Up towards Quinlan and half-forward. McCann's had a great duel with him. He receives support from Ackley, who goes out wide. Matthew Larkin can stop for lunch just about here, or at least order it anyway. Elects to get the handball across to his teammate in Paul Spargo. North are running at the moment. Spargo's a pass is a beauty to Phil Cracker. And here he is in the forward line, little Phillip. Siri tucked in the pocket. And they are looking dangerous. North leading by 1 point. 15 minutes ago, they were trailing by 22. Series kick. It's a good-looking kick, and it's a goal. North lead by 7, and what a turnaround we've got here at Victoria Park.
Certainly have, Sandy. And Cracker magic. Philip Cracker right in the thick of things in this term. But little Siri always busy. And there's only a short in stature, but there's certainly a big heart in that body. And of course, he's always putting himself in, running on, making it hard for opponents. But centre bounce. 63 to 70 in favour of North Melbourne. Rendell gets the tap. Tapped on by Keane. Ackley's there. Traps the ball. Cannot get it clear, though. Ackley and Bernie Harris. And so a bounce will take place on the centre square line. Fitzroy side of the centre.
Fitzroy have Pert injured. Murray Brown yet to make an appearance.
Lyle gets the tap. Comes wide. Keane picks the ball up. Poor kick from Keane. Jim Cracker traps the ball beautifully. Excellent play by Cracker. Spears the pass forward. Finds Jonas, who's able to play on. Kick off the side of the boot. German down there. So too Pekin. From behind, Laurie made no attempt to take it. Forced the ball over the boundary line. So a throwing to take place. Half forward flank, well, short of half forward really for North Melbourne.
Robert, I don't think it matters who you follow. It really is a delight to see the skills of the Cracker brothers, isn't it?
I'll go along with that, Sandy. As Thornton gets the hand pass through to Turner. Turner gets around one opponent, and that being Big Lyle. A kick going forward, and Osborne takes the mark. Richard Osborne it is. Ackley on the mark. And Richard Osborne. Quinlan now gives the lead towards half forward. Blakey the player, though. It's a well-placed kick. As Blakey puts it down long. Paul Roos is down there. Roos can't hold the mark. He recovers. Larkin gets bundled out of the way. Roos goes forward, but he's offline, and 1 point the result. Roos coming right down the ground. It'll be Stephen McCann.
Fitzroy have kicked 3 points for the quarter, Robert.
Once again, nobody picking up, and Atkins takes it. Up towards the forward line, and a nice mark taken by Steele, who gives it to Dwyer. Thornton looks in trouble back behind play. Jim Cracker, Phil Cracker I should say, takes it. A well-placed kick to Hickey, and Hickey now at centre half forward. Hickey directly in front, 35 metres out from goal. Turner on the mark, umpire Castle saying that's where it is. And now we find Stephen Hickey. Hickey with the opportunity of putting the 6th goal for the term. And 6 goals it is. 6 goals in 18.5 minutes by North Melbourne. And Stephen Hickey kicking his.
It's taking nothing away from North. Looks as though Brown could come onto the ground at the moment. Here's the centre bounce. It's won by Lyle. Their confidence is up now, out in front of Jonas. Taps it further forward towards Spargo. Here they go again. Spargo steadies, fires one into the pocket. Cracker comes out, can't quite take it on the half volley. And now the chance for Turner to clear for Fitzroy. They are under pressure, and plenty of it. Lyle in with strength. And it will go the way of his teammate Matthew Larkin. I thought for a moment they might collide. But Larkin's up and he's okay. He'd be delighted with this goal. To full forward, Bruce takes them. Well, they've got to do something, and they've got to do it quickly, Fitzroy. Here's Graham Osborne, the centre wing to Richard Osborne. Sneaking away from John Law. A long handball, Tim Pekin. Another one finds Barwick. Barwick hooking it up towards Rendell. The forward line couldn't take it. Quinlan reads it beautifully, takes the crumbs and has goal. Well, that's the first for the term, and it's taken them 20 minutes. But they'll be delighted.
Yes, and I wonder whether it's got anything to do with the fact that it's one of the rare occasions that Paul Roos has really taken a mark in the manner that we can expect from Paul Roos. There's Bernie Quinlan with David Dwyer. Rendell now at full forward. Quinlan out at centre half forward. In the ruck, Gary Keane. Keane against Lyle. There's the board, 70-76 in favour of North Melbourne. Keane gets a tap for Fitzroy. McIver comes through, loses possession. It's taken by Robertson. His kick straight down towards half forward, and once again, Phil Cracker. The hand pass across to Arseeri. His kick going towards goal. It's through. Arseeri brings up his second goal.
And Philip Cracker, since going to the forward line, has figured in at least 3 goals this term.
Listen, I'm a little surprised that, you know, he's done it so easily that I personally would take Grant Laurie away from him, Sandy. There's Arseeri, and there's the players we're talking about, Phil Cracker and Grant Laurie.
21.5 minutes played. North at the moment answering every challenge that Fitzroy can throw down after fighting their way back into this game.
Sandy, I wouldn't be one bit surprised if you find that Phil Cracker and McIver are opponents again.
I think you're right. To the forward line. No mark taken by Clayton, trying to defend for Fitzroy. This allows McDonald in, gets the hand pass out to Arseeri, controlled it beautifully, pings it back towards half forward, but Roos is there and he takes the mark.
Paul Roos across the half back line. Kicks it wide, looking for McIver. On his own, McIver takes an easy mark. Scott McIver with a long hand pass to Keane. Keane has plenty of time. Now puts it down, looking for Quinlan. McCann at the back brings the ball down. Ackley comes in to lend support. Richard Osborne gets the hand pass in. Straight across now to Atkins, who gives it to McCann. McCann with a high, long kick. Roos up and down before acceptance as Jonas almost took the mark. A good tackle by Jim Cracker against Harris. Eventually the loose ball put by Jimmy Cracker down over the boundary line. An excellent tackle by Jimmy Cracker. It was like lightning.
And then to get up, grab the footy and give a hurry kick away. Great play. And this crowd absorbed in this duel at the moment. Jonas in front. Does it nicely, although his hand pass to Arseeri a little short. Larkin is there to back up support. Phillip is another one. North Melbourne are running hot. Cracker has kicked 2 goals. Has figured in at least 4. And North are starting to show their ascendancy. 13-10 plays 10-10 in a blitzing third term.
And there's Phil Cracker, number 8. And Grant Laurie there with him, and a very happy North Melbourne supporter. And as well he might. What an excellent quarter of football by North Melbourne. The changes made by John Kennedy at half-time really making a difference. And the whole North side have responded and done it in this term as a team. There's the board, 70-88. From a 22-point deficit to an 18-point lead in 23.5 minutes of football. German across to Spargo with a nice hand pass. Spargo hooks the ball down. Arseeri got into the back of his opponent, but now recovers, goes after it, tells McDonald how he's standing. McDonald snapped towards goal. It's across the face. Phil Cracker's there waiting, and Phil Cracker takes the mark. Spargo waiting for the short kick and pops it from Phil Cracker right into the chest. And so now Spargo the opportunity of kicking his first goal, and North Melbourne's 9th for the term.
One really does wonder what would happen if Phil Cracker was down there in the first half. So Spargo looking to set North Melbourne further ahead, and that's exactly what he's done. He kicks his first goal, and North Melbourne's 14th. A big run at the ball, but it drops a little too quickly for him. Hickey thumps it forward, taken by Brown, who's solidly met by Jonas. A little too solidly, said the umpire. It's a free kick down the way. Be taken by Barwin. He's virtually smack in the middle. Quinlan on the lead. Spoiled by McCann. He goes to ground, taps it clear, picked up by Bernie Harris, but he dropped the football. The umpire calls play on. It allows McCann through, down towards centre wing. Graham Osborne having trouble picking it up, eventually does so. Across to McIver, back to Loken with that heavily strapped leg. Gets the hand pass away, and Fitzroy again go towards Quinlan. Thumped clear. Cracker and Lyle have a chat as to who will take it. They can't make up their minds, so it just gets bottled up and a bounce will take place.
Bounce in the forward pocket for Fitzroy. And there's a Fitzroy who really struggled in this term. Struggled to get scores on the board at all. Matt Rendell Snap towards goal. It's a nice looking kick, but John Law, no. Harris picks it up, goes goalward. Bernie Harris puts it through, Leon Harris puts it through for one quick goal. A badly needed goal would be the understatement of the year, as it's only Fitzroy's second for the quarter as they go to 11-10. North Melbourne on 14-10, 76-94, 26 and a half minutes into the third term.
Sun shining, they've got a thumping great rainbow, and it's raining.
It certainly hasn't been a rainbow quarter for Fitzroy, Sandy.
Anything but it has for North as Keane gets a hurried kick out. Quinlan can't pick it up, so he says, blow this, I'll soccer it off the ground. Ackley could be first to it, however. Under plenty of pressure, he almost gets thrown off the footy. Peter Cameron says, don't worry, you can play on. So Fairley kicks it up towards centre wing. Arceri was off before he took it, but he's a little terrier, this bloke. Still goes. Norman gives him support. Caught Rick, so back he goes to Atkins. Hurriedly to the half-forward line. Cracker, fisted away by Laurie, and a throw-in to take place. Well, can they make it 10 for the quarter? They want one more. We've played 27 and a half minutes, and this light rain continuing to fall at Victoria Park. There's the throw-in. Keane and Jonas. Jonah went for a roundhouse right and had an airy. At the bottom of it is Norman. He's tunnel-balled it out the back. Arceri's tackled too high, and he'll be free kick.
I think the pencil's coming out, Sandy. Umpire Castle. I think you'll find that Peter German might have a visit on Monday night. Didn't do any damage. Sandy was one of those friendly little pushes.
Reduction.
And little Mark Arceri, who copped one too high,
has missed out. He doesn't know what's going on.
He was going back to have his free kick, wasn't he?
Not to be. So that indiscretion could have cost the Northerners goal number 10 for the quarter. Laurie's waiting out wide. He'll have to come over the top. Does so, but with no effect. Bernie Harris through. Gives it across to McIver. Back to Leon Harris.
Beautiful smother.
It was a lovely smother over the line. At centre wing.
Mark Lyle has done extremely well for North today. Beaten on that occasion. With Jimmy Cracker first there. The hand pass smothered over the boundary line it goes. You can see the rain coming down naturally. Mark Lyle intercepted by Leon Harris. David Dwyer first there. Jim Cracker. Once again, the kick smothered off the boot. Good play by Tim Pekin. And the throw-in to take place. Centre wing, members' side of the ground. Lyle gets the tap. Blakey and Harris collide. Quinlan's short kick. Keane, called play on by the umpire. Osborne takes it. Richard Osborne that was. Bernie Harris kick across the ground. The opposition is there as Spargo picks it up. Finds Robertson. Robertson with a long kick straight down the ground. McDonald in the front position. Over the top comes Roos and takes a fine mark.
It's more the Paul Roos we know, Bob.
Yes, but not had many of those in that first half. Roos puts it wide. Straight to Spargo again. Spargo goes short and wide. So wide, in fact, it's out of bounds on the full. Dean Turner. Turner with a long kick towards the wing. Once again, straight to the opposition. And once again, it's Paul Spargo.
He's having a field day out there. And have a look at that delightful rainbow. I would doubt very much whether Fitzroy are worrying about that at the moment.
They might need that pot of gold at the bottom of it, according to Leon Wigard, Sandy.
Yes, it should want to be a fairly large pot, wouldn't it? However, they're certainly not out of it yet. Got another quarter of footy at least to go. And as North Melbourne has shown, 3 goals can be made up very, very easily. Blakey starting Fitzroy going from the half-back line. Roos goes for a run. Runs his full distance, then spears one towards Rendell at half-forward. With him is Fairley. Rendell tries to tap it forward. Barwick is the runner, but he overruns it. Quinlan lends support. McIver taps it forward. Bernie just chips it off the ground towards Mick Conlon, drifting out on that flank. He has a set shot at goal. It's a fair kick. 1 point. Siren time, 11-11. There's 14-10. 77-94. It does make a delightful picture, doesn't it? Ackerley. Dwyer. I'm sure if Ackerley kicked out, they could have gone further than that. Steve Hickey.
Very nicely, but Olsen read the play then. Took it away. Oh, a ripper!
Smothered, here's a chance for Matthews. He's running into the game. Hits it off the ground. The goal.
As Wells running and he's bounced it and he's missed it, and Hudson comes in and Hudson takes it away from him. Oh, it just shows what's going to happen if you keep chasing as Hudson picks up, gives the ball across to Scott, and there's a lesson for every junior footballer, Jack.
Kick going further around the wing position, trots him there. Oh, a big mark over the back there to David Parkin, and Parkin does a drop kick straight towards Don Scott. He whips it over towards Kenny. Kenny's going towards the goal for the Queensland. There's it, the goal!
Up towards centre half forward and wait for the ball to drop. Punch down here. Parkin looks for the hand pass, but it's been taken by Donny Scott. He goes for the bounce, can't handle it successfully. The ball comes back to him and he hooks it over his shoulder, and its way it is. It's 4 points. Battle with Bryce. Rice wins out, puts it high up towards the forward pocket area, and Don Scott. Another hand pass coming across and whacking the side of the head. Bremner hooks it over his shoulder down into the goal square. Taken by Scott. And Scott pops it through.
Picks up pretty well. He's playing the ball very well in front of him now. He won't give in. And good play by Chisnell.
Oh.
And he's down. It'll be a free kick up the field. A hand pass, is it? No, he's gone for a hand pass to Feltham now. It's a dangerous one. Scott's got to go for the goals. And it's a goal.
Everyone up, no chance for the mark in the second grab. Conning held, didn't have it. His free kick. And Don Scott going crook, but you saw it. It was there all right. Behind side bottom, but Scott winning out, being pushed down here, a free kick coming out of it, and Scott not too happy.
The ball is knocked out that time by the roll over to Scott. He's played inspiring football. Look what he's doing now. He's streaking away from the tired Collingwood side. And let's hope he kicks a goal from he fires.
It appears that Peter Keenan has been reported.
Moncrief punched it out to Henry. It's smothered again by Glendenny. Back to Scott, a left foot Smith. He's put it through. A beautiful goal by the Hawthorn skipper. And I'd say that it's Hawthorn's premiership for 1978.
There it is. Hawthorn are premiers in 1978, and there's Don Scott who's going to give a present to somebody in the crowd.
Debut, socket off the ground toward Turner. Turner now up on the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground, looking for somewhere to go. He's looking for Brownless, and Brownless out in Dorotich takes the mark and nearly visited the crowd.
15.
Yeah, it's going to have been 15 too. That's dangerous practice. Brownless plays on. Will he be looking for Ablett? He's found him, but what a tight angle he's on. That's very tight. Ablett very, very tight to the boundary, and the breeze will be nearly in his face.
Yeah, right into the face of the breeze. Beautiful play by Brownless to get me. That kid's going to be a champion, and we see... Well, he is a champion, Ablett. Let's see if he can kick it. He stabs. Oh, it's close. Oh, he's kicked it from the boundary line. What a goal to Gary Ablett for his second.
Yeah, it's a great goal. Great play by Brownless. Geelong fighting back. Even though it's the first term, I say fighting back because Carlton were getting on top. Carlton 3-1-19, Geelong 2-1-13.
Well, I tell you what, I came here expecting Carlton to win this game by 6 or 7 goals maybe today, but one thing I knew it was going to be exciting, the fact that Ablett was down on that forward line for Geelong, because we're going to see a great contest between Albin and Ablett.
Mossop got the tap down. It tapped out towards Dool. Can't get rid of it cleanly. Mossop once again dives in. His hand pass is just a flick out the back. Chance for Hards. Oh, that was nearly a throw too by Road. With the ball on the turf, the umpire said Geelong's free kick.
He's playing a great game for Geelong in this quarter, Marty Christensen.
Right, Marty Christensen going out wide. Will he? No, 15 metres there. We shouldn't get out. Ablett's about to lead now. There's about 3 down on Ablett. They must have been very...
Oh, free kick, umpire.
No, the umpire hasn't played it. Comes back to Madden into goal square. Having trouble picking up, but not enough players there to contest against him. He goes out toward Meldrum and finds him. And a free kick, a 15-metre penalty.
Well, if Ablett wasn't belted across the head there, I'll eat my hat as we see Meldrum take it half-back flank. He's playing well too, Paul Meldrum. He's had 5 kicks towards Mossop. Oh, here's a bit of pace by Bradley as he tries to take it on. He's still got the ball in front of him. Beautiful play by Bradley, but punched away by Craig Cleave over the line. and Geelong are having a red-hot go. This could be a very, very good game of football.
There's one point I want to make about Ablett being up there all by himself. There are about 3 Carlton players drop back on Ablett, and no one of Geelong goes up to try and help him. And so in that instance back there were 4 players of Carlton to only Ablett. So, you know, it's going to be hard for one to beat 4. But the ball
they've just got to get it to him quicker so as that he's 1 out. This is the old Peter Hudson tactics, of course. Hudson was left there by John Kennedy, knowing full well he'd beat his man 9 times out of 10. Well, this is happening with Ablett. But he's got a good man on him in Tommy Alban. He's a real goer, as we see Ashman trying receiving from Road, but couldn't get away with it. It's still on half forward, as we see. This is Tim Darcy coming away with the football.
Dangerous.
Oh, he kicks it wide. Dorotic now, whose free kick is it? It's against Brownless. Dorotic is on top of Brownless at the moment. He's going to kick long. He's got the loose man in Wayne Blackwell. Blackwell ducks back. Over the back is Meldrum, who's in great form. He hooks it back. Oh, that's a beautiful looking kick. It's a goal by Paul Meldrum. A top goal by the Carlton half-forward flanker.
Well, as I watched Meldrum kick toward goal, I watched the people in the stands over here, and they all rose as one as that ball went toward the goal square, and a beautiful goal kick by Paul Meldrum. Carlton 4-1, 25. Geelong 2-1, 13, in a very exciting big league.
A magnificent goal that by Paul Meldrum, as you say. I said just before he'd had 5 kicks and is proving a real headache for 6 kicks now, of course, after that one. He's kicked 2 and he's playing a great game. Actually playing on the ball and resting on the half-forward line. There's Ashman. Oh, hip and shoulder, straight down the middle. Here come the Blues, though. Kenny Hunter. Out wide to Wayne Harms. Harms against Bruns. Harms goes backwards to Rhys Jones, who hasn't been in it much. Hunter, left foot. Marty Christensen ducks back. Now it's Alex Marcoux. A funny-looking attempt at a handball. O'Keefe shoveled off the ball. Grabbed by Bradley. Up to Ralph. Warren Ralph couldn't take it. McKenzie tries to knock it back. Bright. A hand pass to Buse. Buse to Yates. Yates with a long kick out of defence, but the big arms of Justin Madden are sitting there. Cop one across the head. Play on, said the umpire. There's Stoneham. Hooking it back. Touched. Grabbed by Damien Christensen. Back it comes. Here's Lindner going for the long driving wobbly kick up towards the forward line. Drum couldn't take it. Now it's Dorotic. Great play, Drum. Ablett leads. Oh, he ducks back. Oh, good play. Beautiful football, Damien Drum. He found Ablett on the difficult side of the ground, though. Is this his 3rd goal coming up, Jack?
Well, that it should be. By gee, they're Ablett conscious here, this Geelong team. Every time they get the ball anywhere near half forward, they're looking for Ablett. Good play by Drum. Yes, he did that very well indeed. Wasn't beaten there, and he came out, took the ball and got it to Ablett. Now, can he convert?
Yep.
I think the crowd says he has. So as Ablett kicks his 3rd goal, the scoreboard shows on Sevens Big League, 3 goals won to Geelong. I could nearly say Ablett. And Carlton 4 goals won, 25.
Well, people become a bit Ablett conscious, but look, on that occasion, Ablett was full marks to Gary Ablett. He went straight up to Drum. He knew it wasn't his goal. It was Drum's goal. That for effort. Beautifully directed kick. And you can kick goals from there as long as you don't go from the centre right out wide. If you're just on a slight angle there, you can kick them. Of course, we see Madden getting it down the ground. We're seeing a magnificent game of football here as Boss tries to kick it off the ground. He dives on it, tries to get it out, and sensibly the umpire, Paul Saville, comes in to bounce the ball.
Yes, Rowan Saws and Paul Saville doing the umpiring. Mossop beaten by Madden. Out to Ashman it travels. The kick doesn't go very far, though. Back toward Madden, who's underneath all that, and the umpire once again will bounce. This game at Princes Park on Sevens Big League, we've now been playing 22 minutes of the 1st quarter.
I wonder how long they'll leave Tommy Alban at fullback, because 3 goals in pretty quick time.
Oh, you can't blame Alban.
No, but he's playing on him.
Christensen got a hand pass in. It's Lindner, can't take it. There's a chance now. It's kicked over the top toward Ablett, but he won't get there in time. There's a chance for Ashman. He can run the ball right down to the half-forward zone if he wants. He's got the paddock in front of him. Got a little kick in towards Meldrum. Meldrum had it, lost it, picks it up very quickly. Good recovery. Looks for Blackman. Blackman's caught. Got out at Blackwell, I should have said. Got a hand pass in toward Meldrum. Meldrum into the forward pocket, close to the boundary line. There's a chance now. Oh, Kernahan. Well tackled.
I don't know about that.
That was a pretty...
A ticky touch with free kick. No way known that was a free
pretty
kick.
Ordinary Rowan Saws.
In front of the Carlton members.
Yep. It's anyhow a chance for Buse. In trouble. El Hockey's in trouble. He got out of it. On the left foot, puts it in no man's land. No pace on here by Brownless. He hasn't got much. Hand pass from Rhys Jones to Dorotic. He hasn't got much pace either. He gets a hand pass to Madden. Madden's kicks high. It's into the half-forward zone. Mossop tries for a position, can't find one. Meldrum beaten on that occasion. It's tapped back to Meldrum. He goes with the left foot. He's got it. Well, well, well. What a great piece of work by Meldrum. He's kicked 3 goals. He's kicked 8 kicks, 3 goals. I just said he was beaten on that occasion. All of a sudden, he got the rebounding ball and popped it through. So on 7th Big League, all the action. 5-1, playing 3-1, Carlton leading.
This is a magnificent performance by Paul Meldrum on that half-forward line and going into the centre for the occasional bounce. A terrific performance. There have been 3 magnificent goals kicked by Paul Meldrum. Real team-lifting stuff as we see Mossop getting beaten badly by Madden. It's kicked by Rowe down towards half-forward. Oh, here's a chance. Marcoux into the open goal. Alex Marcoux, he stabs and he slams it through for another goal to the Blues. So the Blues running hot. They've moved on to 6 goals, 1, leading the Cats 3-1.
Yes, great goal by Alex Marcoux. So it's all action here at Princes Park. And the time clock is not quite to the 25 minutes, only 24 and a half minutes mark, and we've had 9 goals kicked in the first term. 6 by Carlton, 3 by Geelong, 6-1 playing 3-1. So a very good game of football and a very good crowd. But gee, those Carlton fans, are they really jazzed right up? They're really on top of the world.
Madden down to Rhys Jones, who's caught too high. Umpire Saville right onto that one, and they gave the right decision. There's Johnston looking for Kernahan. He hasn't been in it as yet, Steve Kernahan. He dives on the ball, and umpire Rowan Saws comes in to bounce it. Half forward for Carlton. But Kernahan being well attended there at centre half forward by Craig Cleave is doing an excellent job.
And Pete said centre half, half forward, he's only about 35 metres out. Cleave taps it down, hand pass, come unstuck. That was dangerous football in such a situation, with the ball only 30 metres out from the Carlton goal. But we'll see a bounce taking place, so maybe the pressure can be taken off the Geelong back line if they can get a relieving kick. But I can't see many places they can go if they do get it, because there's all Carlton back there ready to cop that kick going back.
Cleave got the hit out. The hand pass comes to Bruns. Bruns with a long kick towards Brownless, who flies one-handed. Damien Christensen knocks it on. Grabbed by Brucey Doyle, still the idol of the Carlton supporters. Over to Blackwell. Blackwell to Meldrum. Is this his 4th coming up? He stabs. And I think he's got it. Yes, 4 goals to Paul Meldrum in a tremendous individual performance on the Carlton forward line. And he's had 9 kicks for the corner.
On 7th Big League, Princes Park, the game being played. 7 goals, 1 to 3 goals, 1. Carlton leading Geelong, and the time clock 26 minutes into the first term.
What an individual performance by Meldrum, and he's got his 2nd opponent on him now.
You reckon you wouldn't want to be playing on Ablett, but Meldrum's kicked 4 goals, Ablett's kicked 3, so what a great quarter. Righto, at the centre bounce. Can Geelong get another one to get back in the game? Because for a moment they were getting out of it. Brown has a kick not going very far.
He hasn't got any help down there, Ablett.
Ablett hasn't got any help, but I've been saying it all along. He gets that one out of the pack, though. It's kicked along the ground. Here's a chance now. That was out. Stoneham got the hand pass away. Now, who's home for Geelong? No one at all at this stage of the game.
This is half forward. Oh, that could be holding the ball. No, held to him, which is probably the right decision by umpire Saws there. He didn't have much chance of getting rid of it. Sometimes they pay free kicks now for the perfect tackle. There's Stoneham doing the ruck work. The wind took it away from him. Now, what was that tackle? Holding or in the back, said the umpire. So it will be going down there to Wayne Blackwell on half-back flank.
Blackwell coming in toward the centre. He's playing the ground properly, coming in toward the big fella Madden. Now Madden's taken the mark, looking for a hand pass. He wants to play on. Little Bew's doing the tackling. Madden does get a hand pass now to Bradley. Bradley comes out wide. You can see Hunter, but also there's Harms in there too. Hocking does the work for Geelong. I think he'll let it run out. Yes, he does. And a boundary throw-in will take place now in the half-forward position for Carlton on the flank. From this boundary throw-in, here's Kernahan coming in to do the ruck work against Mossop. Mossop can't get it. It's out taken by Ashman. Ashman kicks high and wide. It's up toward the full forward zone. The man in front would have been a free kick to Mackenzie. Play on's the call. With a chance for Meldrum. Don't tell me get another one. Picked up by Ralph. Ralph's kick, not a good one. Comes in towards Darcy. Darcy with his number obscured. He gets a hand pass to Bruns. Bruns goes short. He can't find Buse, and the ball over the boundary line.
Geelong's use of the ball in this quarter has been absolutely terrible, except for 1 or 2 occasions down to Ablett. But they're under, could be due to a lot of pressure being put on by the Carlton players, but their actual short passing has been very ordinary indeed. As we see, Beckett comes to Hocking. He's a tough customer. Oh, he hand passes straight to Alex Marcoux. With great pace, he breaks away and kicks. Bright marks. Good mark to Terry Bright in front of Warren Ralph.
He didn't actually take the first grab. Should be a point, really.
Oh, I think it was a mark.
No, it should be a point. He didn't take it cleanly on the first grab. It is a point. That's right.
I think that's a wrong decision.
I reckon the wrong decision.
I thought he marked that cleanly in front.
No, he took the ball over the line on the second grab, and that's why it was a point. The umpire was dead right. So that's another point to Carlton, making their score 7-2-44. Ask the umpire tomorrow, what's your decision, umpire Saville? Well, 7-2-44 to 3-1-19.
Really made the decision, though, Jack, as we see.
That's what he's there for.
Well, I thought he took the mark. Anyway, here's Harms over to Madden, or Madden's like a big night patrolman round that centre. Over to Buse. Buse, long. Dorotich from behind, Brownless. Dumped away. Beckett comes to the centre of the ground. Stoneham. Oh, holding the man goes to Geelong there. And it is right with Lindner. Almost a centre foot. Oh, they've gone out there again. He's gone the wrong side, Ablett. Now they kicked it there. Oh, that is shocking forward play.
Well, they're trying to let one
Ablett
man
led to the wrong side of the ground. Then they kicked to the pocket. There was no one there, Jack.
But he went for the shot at goal, Buse. I think that's what he did. Hand pass comes back to Eldrin from Madden. He's looking for Marcoux. He might find him eventually. He does. Marcoux's kicks, but the siren sounds. And what a great quarter of football for Carlton. Carlton 7-2-44, Geelong 3-1-19 on...
...was worn off, Jack, and maybe that shoulder's worse than we anticipated it was.
Well, he has kicked 6 goals, so he hasn't done a bad job, but Geelong need him up there to kick more. The ball tapped out to the half-back flank area for Carlton. The umpire said holding the ball so Geelong can come forward. Now...
Oh, this kid's played a terrific game, Drum.
Let's see what he does. Oh, not he kicked the man on the mark. Oh, Madden all by himself. No one to compete with him. He takes the easy mark, gives it out to Elvin. Elvin in 2 minds as to what to do. He's caught. He's a chance now for Stoneham. Stoneham into the open goal. He missed it, did he? No, he didn't. I thought he had. So Stoneham kicks his first goal. After a bad mix-up there from Elvin, Elvin got himself all tied up. Carlton 17-13, 115. Geelong on 14-7, 91 on 7's big league.
Yes, and this has been a great performance. I'll keep repeating it. I reckon it has by Geelong because their key trump up forward, Ablett, has not been able to go for his mark since half-time. Mossop's only half fit. I reckon Turner's not fit, but they're really serving it up to Carlton. Carlton are a very good side, as we know. Overrunning it was Hocking. It's grabbed by Marcoux. Marcoux, a little chip pass back to Blackwell. Blackwell runs to half forward. He kicks it wide. Here's Kernahan with his name written all over this one. Couldn't take the mark. Steve Carey goes in. Caught. Gets the kick in. Back it comes towards the half-back line. Warren Ralph bundled out of the way. Dives on top of the ball. And this will be a bounce up on half-forward flank. Full marks to umpires Saws and Saville today in a torrid game. They have, and these two sides normally do go in very hard after the ball when they play each other. The umpires have kept control right throughout. 20
minutes into the final term. Ralph has a shot toward goal. Doesn't bounce right for him and goes through for only one behind. So Carlton on 17-14, 116 now, enjoying a lead over Geelong, who are on 14-7, 91. From the full-back position, looks like to Carey down there, a long way away from here.
Scratch-a-Neal.
Scratch-a-Neal with the ball, goes right out. Big Madden again by the look of it. Gee, they must pick him out. He gives it over to Bradley. Bradley goes short, and between them they nearly mess it up, but Peter Road has taken the mark at centre-half forward. He's a long way out from goal, but I have seen goals kicked from there, but he's gone short. No one on Gleeson. He takes the easiest of marks and now can run into the open goal. He made it look that easy. Geelong defence was non-existent, but that's part of the game. And Carlton go on to 18-14, 122. Geelong 14-7, 91 on 7's big league.
And full marks to all those experienced Carlton players there who ran down to young Gleeson and gave him a big pat on the back, and that'll make the young kid feel $1 million to get the plaudits of his teammates, but Geelong, Carlton, a little bit too much class for Geelong round the ground. Geelong really serving it up to them, trying their hearts out. There's Buse, who's tried hard all day on the left foot up towards Stoneham and Dool. Stoneham punches the ball away. Here's a chance. Is this Billy Brownless into the open goal? That was beautiful football. Brownless for a lovely goal.
One more goal to Geelong. Carlton 18-14. Brownless kicks his second goal. A nice piece of work, as Peter McKenna said. Got a bright future in football as Billy Brownless. And Geelong on 15-7-97. But the gate, it's a bit late now, I think, because we're 22 minutes into the final term and Geelong couldn't get up from here. They're still trailing by 25 points, but they were down at three-quarter time by 28. So they're finding it hard to pick up the lead that they lost in the first term, Pete.
That's exactly right.
Points.
They've kept with them since.
Yes, but they got 25 points down at quarter time and they just haven't been able to bridge that gap.
Well, they've asked a big job here of young Billy Brownless to take on Madden. Look at the leap. Madden beats him for that one, though. Bradley's played a much better second half. That was number 8 getting it out there to Blackwell. Peter Road. Blackwell getting it to Road. Road with a long shot at goal. He's offline. That was good. Good harassing there by the Geelong defenders. In fact, it was O'Keefe who harassed there and made him kick off line. Oh, that was dangerous. Coming back to Damon Christensen. Rhys Jones had been a very, very quiet player.
Yes.
I think Robert Walls would be disappointed with Rhys Jones and Warren Ralph, their inability to get into the game.
Bradley a bit late on the scene to stop Hocking from marking the ball. Now here's a chance for Geelong to come forward again. Can turn to get around. He's in a bit of bother. No, it was Carey getting the ball up toward Brownless. Mossop. Mossop can't take it. He's nowhere near fit, as Peter McKenna has said. They're still fighting for the ball. Bruce Stool in there battling his heart out, and the umpire said a bounce. So the ball will be bounced about 30 metres out, no more than 30 metres out from Geelong's goal. Geelong are trailing by the margin of 25 points as Mossop tries to hook it down. Hunter played very well. Marty Christensen, nearly a throw, was it? Taken by Dorotich. His strength got him out of a tight situation. He hooks it around to Neil and Rhys Jones, the man in front. And the Bronx cheer from the Carlton fans. That's his first mark for the day, and he certainly got a Bronx cheer then.
Yes, he had a quiet day, David Rhys Jones. There's a hand pass from Blackwell to Alex Marcoux. He's kicked to the open goal. Now, will it bounce through? It bounces. Still going, but the only one there is Steve Carey. Now, he's got Mark Boss to give it to. Well, it's a funny-looking kick, but it comes off. And Boss, with a new hairstyle, it's hard to realise it's the same guy. He's got his hair up. He used to have that long blonde hair. We see Mark Boss. Oh, it's a shocking kick right up in the air. And was it a free kick? It was a mark anyway to Yates. But this Brownless, he's a good player as he kicks it wide. There's Scratcher Neal, who's played a great game out there on Meldrum. Over to Lindner. He's been quiet. Bruce Lindner, a stab pass looking for young Stoneham. And the ball bounces over his head and out of bounds next to the behind post. Boundary throw in the forward pocket position for Geelong, only a few metres away from their goal. Geelong trailing by 25 points as the time clock gets toward the 24.5-minute mark of the final term. So Sevens big league action at Princes Park, just outside the Geelong goal square. Taken away here by Johnson. It's kicked up toward the half-back zone and a diving mark to Kernahan. Hand passes out to Bradley Shine. Shine having trouble picking up. Has the ball taken away from him. That was good football on that occasion too. Neil pops it in towards Mossop, who takes the mark in the forward pocket. John Mossop on screen with the ball, well within kicking distance, no more than 30 metres. His third kick. He's had a very quiet day, but I don't think he's anywhere near fit. Well, I think they were forced to play Mossop a couple of weeks ago when Flanagan was injured, which has been a bad loss. And Mossop, well, let's see what he can do with this kick from 35, 40 metres out. Not a bad-looking kick, won't quite make the distance and will be forced through for a behind. Geelong have not given up the ghost at any stage whatsoever. They've fought this right out. 15-8, 98 Geelong. Carlton, 18-14, 122. They've got a lot of class, Carlton, and they're going to be a difficult side to beat this year. Road with the ball for Carlton at the half-back position, leading in toward the flank. It's Road having his 15th kick, 14th kick. Mackenzie up high, can't take it. The ball smothered in that pack of players. Hunter waiting for the hand pass. It's coming out now. Rhys Jones, hand passes out for Hunter. Over to Shine. Shine looking for a teammate further afield. Kernahan wasn't the target on that occasion. It was Bradley. Brilliant. He gave it to Blackwell. Blackwell drives toward goal. And the Carlton machine is well oiled this afternoon. It's rolling well. And a good goal kicked by Carlton through Blackwell. Carlton 19-14, 128.
Geelong 15-8, 98 on Sevens Big League, and there's that 5-goal margin again, Peter.
Well, both of those players on screen there, Blackwell and Bradley, were fairly quiet players in the first half, but since half-time, they're cutting Geelong to pieces. 10 kicks to Wayne Blackwell. That's not like Blackwell. He's normally up around the 21, 22 kick marks. And, well, they've been put under a lot of pressure by those Geelong players today. There's Brownless going early. Straight to Wayne Johnston on the left foot. Scratcher Neal ducks back. Can't quite take the mark. So Bradley again. Back to Rhys Jones coming into it now. This will go over the back, no doubt. Yes, that kick right over the back. Carey playing on Ralph. Here's Warren McKenzie. A beautiful pickup. Back to Ralph. Ralph with a hand pass. Back towards little Gleeson. Oh, gee, Bright. Cop one from his own teammate there. A shovel out. Darcy off the side of the boot. A chance for David Rhys Jones to get it in the forward pocket. He's got it onto the left foot. He hooks it back towards full forward. Up they go. It's no mark as players pounce in on top of it. Scratcher Neal is there. He dives on top of the ball. And Warren McKenzie appealing for holding the ball, but the umpire will have none of that. And in a torrid game, they've done a fair job too, Rowan Saws and Paul Saville. We're just over 2 minutes into the time-on period. The ball being put down just outside Carlton's goal. Can they get it away? Brunn's got a little kick away from the danger area. It's on the turf with O'Keefe. His hand pass is ineffective. Johnson got leg. The umpire calls play on. Bruns once again can't do much with it. Kernahan hand passes it back into the open territory. Bradley, his foot and hand disposal is magnificent, Craig Bradley, and there he's found out Blackwell again. And those two have combined very, very well on a number of occasions since half-time. As I said, they were quiet in the first half, but when the pressure has come on, those two have come good. Blackwell, 14 kicks now. Off the pocket, he's having this shot for goal. Well within kicking distance. Will it be 36 points? The Carlton lead by, yes, he can put that in the record books. Carlton lead by 36 points now after Blackwell kicks his second goal and says thank you very much. Well, there's no doubt about Bradley. Bradley has been a sensational player since coming across from South Australia. How many kicks is that to Bradley? 15 kicks. He's really come into it. And in the first half, Andrew, how many kicks did he have? He's had quite a few players feeding off him too, Pete. He's been getting the ball out to them and getting the ball moving. So that in that way he's done well. It's Madden, a great game today. Gets the ball on the turf, socket off by Bruns. A chance for Dool out in front of the young fellow in Stoneham. Stoneham one out, got a hand pass back to Bruns. That was good football. It might be going through too. It is a good piece of football from young Stoneham. To get that ball out to Bruns coming through. He kicks his first goal. And Geelong, as Peter McKenna said before, have not given up the ghost. They fought the game right out. They are now 16-8, 104. Carlton 20 goals, 14, 134. And once again, it's that 5 goals. Well, I think that the future augurs well for Geelong in future weeks. As long as Ablett's not, well, obviously he's carrying a shoulder injury. We know that. John Devine said on TV he takes painkillers before the game. They might be better off to rest him for a couple of weeks and get him right and put Brownless up at full forward. But there he is, Brownless. Can't get that one. It's grabbed by Drum, who's been a terrific player. Over to Bruns. Bruns out wide. Hunter's there and Dool. A bit of experience there. Back it comes. This is Bruce Linder. He's got it. He hooks it hard and high up at the goals. Now Mossop's there against Dorotich. Over the back is Alvin. And eventually it comes off all the players and through for another point to Geelong. Geelong, they move on to 16-9, trailing Carlton on 2014. Dorotich looking for a lead. He's going out to the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground, and the mark has been well taken by Dean. Gave it over to Bradley very smartly, and he gets it moving round the flank now. Bradley got a bit of pace. He musters pace to get down toward Kernahan. He's up high, can't take the mark. Well, that was nearly a throw, I thought. It's come out towards Neal. Neal with the ball, getting it out toward Bruns. Bruns had to go and meet it. Went through his legs. He was caught, didn't have possession really when tackled. The umpire could have given him a free kick, but didn't. And we'll see a bounce taking place at centre half forward for Carlton. And the scoreboard showing, as the siren sounds, final scores at Princes Park. Carlton running out winners over Geelong. Carlton 20 goals, 14, 134. Geelong 16 goals, 9, 105.
To beat Hawthorn more than new Magpie coach Lee Matthews. But it was evident from the outset that Lee and his men were facing no easy task. The Hawks started off in fine fashion with Brereton, Dippier, Domenico and Platten all doing well in attack. They led by 15 points at quarter time, and to make matters worse for Collingwood, star little man Neville Shaw left the ground on a stretcher. The Hawthorn combination again looked good in the second quarter, and with Dunstall beating 2 goals in that term, their advantage at the main break was 28 points. The third quarter was a better one for the Pies, with Ricky Barham showing some flashes of brilliance. Injuries were starting to take their toll with Hawthorn, who'd lost Lester Smith and Robertson, while Russo was also in big trouble. Collingwood looked to have a great chance when it trailed by 20 points at three-quarter time, but despite its walking wounded, the Hawks showed the qualities of a great side to draw away in the final term for a 45-point win. Final scores: Hawthorn 15-14, 104 to Collingwood 8-11, 59. Hawthorn's main goal kickers were Dippier, Domenico, Dunstall and Buckenara with 3, while Ricky Barham got 2 for Collingwood. Out at Windy Hill, it was the battle of last year's premiers and wooden spooners, Essendon and St Kilda. And as one may expect, the Bombers had the early ascendancy. In fact, at one stage in the opening turn, they led by 34 points, but thanks to some inspirational stuff by skipper Trevor Barker, the Southern Saints pegged that margin back to 10 points at the first break. Unfortunately, the Saints had lost star spearhead Tony Lockett, who sustained a deep gash to his right knee when he hit an exposed sprinkler head. Essendon took up the challenge in the second quarter, kicking 7 goals to 2 to lead at half-time by 35 points, but again suffered an injury to a star player when Steve Clark was carried from the field on a stretcher just on the siren. After the break, Harvey, Ezard and Hawker were all in brilliant form, and try as they may, St Kilda could do little to halt the Bomber onslaught. After yet another 6-goal term, it was Essendon by 52 points at three-quarter time, and the pattern continued in the final quarter, with the Bombers eventually running out victors by 62 points. Final scores for Essendon 22-14, 146.
Minutes into the second term. 7 points the difference, and the Demons doing okay, but it's early days yet. The Bulldogs have to win this one today to keep their final 5 chances alive as Purser gets a hand pass, intercepted that time by Nichols, who hasn't done a bad job for his first game. Back it goes to White. The umpires found a free kick against McGuinness. It'll go to Cole out there at half-back. And Cole played very well in the first quarter. He put Bandle out of business. He was taken off the ground. Ball knocked to the ground. Wallace tries to get clear. Ran into another crash there, but he got one too high from that time from Newport. And he'll get a free kick. 15-metre penalty. Footscray trailing by 7 points as the ball goes out wide. Coming in is Hughes. Grabbed that beautiful. A lot of guts about that one. A long kick to Moore and Kennedy. They both go. Moore's got it. Did he push him? The umpire said no.
Bandle back on. Petraglia off for Footscray.
Waiting now for the... I think the coach might have been a bit hard on Petraglia there. There's a good mark to Peter Moore. He and Kennedy having a great tussle. Moore's already kicked 1 goal. There's the other shot. But he's off target. A little bit lackadaisical that time with that kick, and it's through for 1 point. So Melbourne moved to 6 goals, 6:42 to Footscray, 5 goals, 4:34 as we approach the 16.5-minute mark of this second quarter, which is not the classiest game in the world, but a very entertaining one.
Peter Moore has now kicked 1 goal, 2 as Kennedy brings the ball back. Long kick by the Footscray skipper towards the outer side. Over the head of Fitch. Knock on by Wallace. In fact, Wallace is able to regain it pretty quickly. Up to Bandit. Ronald Regan backs him up. Bandit calls for it. He goes for a hand pass. Picked up by Tim Jepp. Jepp a short pass. Is he looking for Beasley? He is, but Beasley outmanoeuvred there on that occasion. McGuinness in the back, yes. Clearly so. The advantage well paid, is it? Because Roy has it in the goal square. I think they might have to bring it back.
They draw the line on that advantage. Well, that was quite legit in my way of thinking, Pete, but it's a fine line when they say it's the advantage or so. It's really left to the discretion of the umpire, isn't it?
Yes, if the players keep going, you just have to keep calling it. But anyway, umpire Clayton said it was a free kick. Play was stopped. So McGuinness played in the State of Origin game at Football Park on Tuesday. They all look different in different jumpers. His left footer looks pretty good from here, but we'll wait on the goal. Umpire might have drifted away at the last minute. In fact, it has. It's through for 1 point for the Bulldogs. 5-5 to 6-6. A 7-point margin in favour of Melbourne. Hughes. 2 on 1 out there in favour of Footscray. The rebound is to Robbie Flower. His skills better than perhaps anybody on the ground as it's picked up by Cordner. Rance, great mark. Over the top, too tall. Probably see him in the State of Origin match for Western Australia in a few weeks' time. up to half forward. Royal, great attempt to mark, couldn't do so. Almost a throw, not seen by the umpire, picked up by Newport. He's gone for a hand pass. Robbie Flower again, getting into play in the second term after a quiet opening stanza. This is the Flower we're more used to seeing. Well shepherded. Robbie Flower long to half forward, just away by Jep. He and Hardy battling forward. Plenty of Footscray backup support down there too, as it knocked on by Hawkins. Hawkins to Hardy. Hardy's kick us into the open spaces onto the centre wing position. Alday goes for the hand pass, and that was well done. Back to Batterston, but again Hardy's there. Can't mark it this time. Hawkins tries to get around Dixon, gets it onto Hardy. Hardy in turn, long kick, position number 15 up in the centre wing position. McPherson could have been pushing in the back there, but the umpire says no, as the ball is out of bounds on the full. That will be a Melbourne free kick, and it will be taken at right half forward flank, or Footscray free kick by Rod McPherson.
And McPherson's kicked back towards the half forward line for Footscray. Punched out by Gordner. Going after it now is Hughes. McGuinness is there too. He lost the sight of the ball. It's Eichel trying to get the ball back. It's smothered back to White. Anticipating beautifully goes. He got one in the back for sure. The umpire said no play on. They piled up there. There's a chance. 2 Melbourne players. White again. He goes down. Plenty of scrambly play. There's another free kick in the back to Footscray. Three of them in a row, and the umpire ignored them. But at least he was consistent. Full marks to him. Can't do any better than that. He didn't show any favouritism for sure. The difference is, 7 points in favour of Melbourne. White lost it. Picked up that time by Royal. Back there towards Bandit, overruns the ball, but Groenewegen got a chance to score a goal. Runs to an over one, but he misses. And the difference is 1 goal. So Footscray have had plenty of chance this last 5 minutes. 6 goals, 6-42 Melbourne to Footscray 5-6-36. And Footscray know they're in a ball game today. They thought this might have been a walkover. Short pass to Jarrett, a long hand pass to Flower. Playing very well in the second quarter. How about that for a hand pass? It goes over there to Newport, a long one down there towards Fidge. Over the head of Fidge, coming out to meet it now. In that back pocket is Jep. Jep doesn't know what to do with it now. He's right. He's still hesitant. Still gets his kick back there towards the wing position. Malin comes in, but there we see Newport also. He's in a bit of trouble, Malin, trying to get the ball back. It comes back to Rod McPherson, their best player. And a mark taken here. No, he dropped that wide. He should have grabbed it. Should have. Kicked by Footscray over there to McGuinness. McGuinness tries to gather that one. He's grabbed, didn't have the ball. Back it comes to Alday. He's going to get a free kick for sure. So a free kick will go to McGuinness at centre field. Footscray trailing by a goal.